now we will see this energy gap of semiconductor. Okay, so this is also very simple experiment. So let us complete this, then we will go to the next one. Okay, so what is energy gap? Can anyone tell what is energy gap? What is the meaning of energy gap? Don't know. So it is the E2 minus E1. Okay. Okay. So there is a difference between two energy levels. But in principle, normally, when it comes to your semiconductor, if you take your semiconductor, so in that case, what happens? So you have, so we will write here energy gap of semiconductor. Okay. So this is your experiment. Okay, you have to find the energy gap of a semiconductor. So energy gap is nothing but if you take any semiconductor, whether it is p-type or n-type or intrinsic. Okay, so in that case, what happens? You have two bands. One is your valence band and your conduction band. Okay, so you have two bands. The gap between these two bands is what we call as each or the energy gap. So this again we are going to learn more in your unit number 3. Okay, so how to distinguish your energy gap and all. We have already seen this in your semiconductor laser. When it comes to your semiconductor laser, I had explained in case of p-type, your charge carriers are majority charge carriers are holes, so they will be in valence band. In case of n-type, majority charge carriers are electrons and they are in conduction band. Okay, so these things you have already learned. So now what we'll do is we will see how to determine the energy gap of a semiconductor. So this for this what I will do, I'll just start the experiment because this is very simple experiment, and then I will show how what you're supposed to take the reading. Okay, and then I will explain. I'll come back and explain. Okay, because it will take a lot of time. So here what we'll do is we'll use something called as a thermistor. Okay, so thermistor is a thermally sensitive resistor. Okay, so in our case we are going to use germanium as a your thermistor. Okay, so then what we will do, we will keep it in your temperature water bath, hot water, and then we will keep on recording the resistance at different temperature. Okay, so I will explain why you need that. So this is your tableau column. Okay, when it comes to tableau column, what you are supposed to do is you have to take resistance at a different temperature. Okay, so this is for this we are going to use what we call as a two probe method. Okay, so what is the meaning of two probe method is? So I will show you. Okay, so resistance. So here we are going to use two probe. Okay, so two probe method. So I will tell what is this two probe method. We have also four probe method, but that we will do it in a different experiment. Okay. So in case of two probe method, what you normally do is if I want to measure the resistance of any material, then what I do, I will just switch to okay. So temperature in degree C. Okay, and then I'll write resistance. Okay, so I will start this experiment and then I will keep on explaining. Right? So because it is we need to wait for the temperature to cool down. So till then, what I will do is I will just show this. What is the setup? So it is very simple setup again. So you need so I will you need a thermometer to know the temperature of your water, and then you are going to put this. This is your semiconductor thermistor, and then you can connect the semiconductor to a voltmeter. Okay, digital multimeter. Okay, so I will show this setup. So then I will start the experiment. Then we will go to the uh, actual. Okay, so here I think so. Can you see this? So this So this is your thermistor. Okay, thermistor is nothing but it is a thermally sensitive resistor. So here it is actually germanium, and one side we are giving from one surface you will be giving to the positive terminal, and the other surface you are giving to the negative terminal. Okay, so this connection is already made. What you are supposed to do, you just put it to you connect this to a junction box. This is your junction box. So there is nothing inside this. This is just empty box. Okay, so it is used like your breadboard. So in some cases they use breadboard, but here we'll just use this. This is old classical uh, junction box. Okay, so then what you do, you have a your thermometer, and then you have a beaker. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this inside your beaker, and normally this will be fixed on stand, but just for demo I'm just using like this. Okay, so because I'm doing it in a separate in a different lab, so I'm just doing like this. So you can see here right now what is the temperature. uh, I think it is difficult. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now you can see what is the temperature here. The temperature is almost close to 23 or 24, because right now I'm in AC room, so it is around 22 degrees C. Okay, so then what we do, so this is a setup. So you are keeping your resistor inside this bottle. Okay, and then sorry, your beaker, and then you're going to connect these two ends to your multimeter. Okay, so when in multimeter, what you normally do is, so you are going to connect this multimeter to resistance. Okay, because you need to know the resistance of your wire. So what I will do, I'll keep it in this resistance, and then I'm going to connect this ends to your these two terminals. Okay, so you are just, this is what we call as two probe. Okay, so two probe in the sense it is nothing but you are going to just take the two of these probes, and then you are going to connect it to this terminals. Okay, so the two terminals. Okay, so this is your resistance. So normally at room temperature, so it is around 29. Okay, so I will just show this. At room temperature it is 29. Room temperature means right now it is 22 degrees C. Okay, so I will write that. I will write here just the temperature. So the temperature is 22 degrees C, and then this is around 29.7. Okay, resistance is 29.7 ohms. So you can see it is kept in resistance mode. Okay, so you just turn your multimeter to resistance, and then you keep it here. Okay, so this you can see here it is showing in 200. Okay, so this is at 200. So then you keep on taking the values. Okay, so now what you do is you take hot water. So hot water, and then you just pour it inside this. Uh, okay, so once you pour it inside your beaker, then what happens? You can see the temperature will also change. Okay, so you can see here the temperature has changed. So it is almost close to 70, but in principle it can also go up to 85, 90. Okay, so what your experiment, what you're supposed to do is, at every 55 degree, so right now it is at 75 degrees C, then you should note down the reading on your voltmeter. Okay, so your multimeter. So that is the only experiment that you need to do. So for that, what I will just give you the readings. Okay, so I will send you the readings. So there's nothing more than that. Okay, so what you are supposed to do, you just keep waiting till the temperature is going to come down to maybe like 40 or 50 degree. Okay, so every 5 degrees. So right now it is at 75. You take reading one at 75, and then one at 70, and then again at 65, like that. Okay, so you are going to keep on taking the readings. Okay, so you are going to take readings at a different temperature. Okay, so 85 you note down the temperature, 80 you note down the your resistance, 75 you note down the resistance. Okay, every 5 degree you are going to note down the resistance. So that is your experiment. Okay, so with the temperature it is going to change, and then you have to just do the some of the calculations. Okay, so that I will explain now. Okay, so this is the setup. Okay, so it is very simple setup. So you don't have much to do. Okay, so you take your thermostat, put it inside your beaker, and also put your thermometer inside the same beaker, and then you connect this thermistor to your multimeter. Okay, with the help of the junction box. Okay, so you use this junction box, and then you connect it to your multimeter. Okay, then you keep on recording the uh, resistance, so at a different temperature. That's all. Okay, so now I will what I will do is I will try to explain this uh, the theory part. Okay, so I will explain the theory part. What is this thermistor? What is the use of thermistor? Okay, and then we'll go to the next experiment. Okay. Okay. So as we told, so the energy gap is nothing but it is a difference between your conduction band and the valence band. Okay. So now, if you want to take so resistance, you can do either 2 probe or 4 probe. So here we are going to do 2 probe. Okay. So I will just show you how this works. Okay. So what is a 2 probe? So you can see here, so this two probes are kept at across the your semiconductor. Okay. So now if I want to measure the resistance of this pen, what I will do is I will just connect. I will just bring those two probes. Okay. So I will. Oh, so I will bring the two probes and then I'll just keep it across this. So I think I will. So if I want to know the resistance of this pen, okay, so then what I do, I'll just keep it like this. So then that will give some reading. So as you can see, it will be a insulator. When it is an insulator, the resistance will be very high. So you won't even see the reading on your multimeter. Okay. So instead of this, so if I use some metal, for example, so I will just take this. For example, this is a metal. So metal is normally very good conductor. So once I keep these two probes, you can see that the resistance is almost coming to very low. Okay, so okay, fine. So I'm keeping here. So now you can see the resistance will be around 1 or 2.1 ohms, okay, or 0.5 ohms. This is because the conductors, like your metal, it is very good in, it is a good conductor. So there is a lot of electrons which can give a contribution for conductivity, and hence the resistance will be very less. So, but if I take a insulator like your wood, for example, if I take try to measure the resistance of the wood, you can see it is showing very high value. Okay, it is showing 1, but it is actually infinity. Okay, so it is like very large. It is not able to take the measurement. So for metal, it was 0.5. So as I told, we are doing experiment for a semiconductor. So if I put a semiconductor, for semiconductor, what happens? It will be in between those of your metals and your insulator. Okay, so I think there is something. Okay, so it will be around 25 or 26. So it is fluctuating because there is some loose contact. Okay. So this is your two probe. Okay. So two probe means you just use your multimeter in ohms and then you can just do the you can measure the resistance. Okay. So this is about the two probe. So now what you're doing, you're trying to find the resistance and at a different temperature, and there you're going to try to make a graph. Okay. So what is this thermistor? Okay, so before understanding that, so thermistor, it is a semiconductor. So first thing is your thermistor is a semiconductor, and the resistivity of this, the resistance of the uh, this material depends on the temperature. Okay, so thermistor. So thermistor means it is a thermally sensitive resistor. Okay, thermally sensitive resistor. Okay, so this is your thermistor. So what is the meaning of that? So the resistance of your material or your thermistor actually depends on the temperature. So as we already saw in our case, so when we were at room temperature, the we got value as 29.7. Okay, So now if I take the value, so the value is around 13 or 14. Okay, so I will show here. So the value is around 14. And what is the temperature here? The temperature is around 63. Okay, so if I take 63 as a temperature, then you can see the resistance is almost uh, 15. Okay, so if I take now, if I write here, so at 63 degrees C, so then what is the resistance? 14 point. Okay, so this resistance will depend on the temperature of your material. Okay, so that is why it is called as thermally sensitive resistor. Okay, so that means the resistance depends on the temperature of that material. So normally this is a semiconductor. So in our case, we are using your germanium. Okay, so germanium metal we are using as a thermistor. So now what is the use of this? What is the use of this thermistor? This is like your this can be used like your thermometer. Okay, so for example, if you take your thermometer, what happens? The mercury level keep on increasing or decreasing based on the temperature. So this is what you saw here. Like when it comes to when it was at room temperature, we had the mercury level at 22, and now when the temperature is high, the mercury level is at 63. So based on that level, you are telling, okay, this is the temperature. In the same way, I can use this kind of thermistors and I can tell what is the exact temperature. Okay. So for that, they do calibration like this. So they will make readings like this. Okay. So initially you can take a 22 degree to 29.7, and maybe at uh, 85 degree or 90 degree, it will be around like 5.0 ohms. Okay. So you can see this is going to change. So I will send you all these values. Later you can do some of the calculation. Okay. So then what happens? You don't have to use your thermometer. So let us assume there is no thermometer. Then what I can do, I can just put to my resistor in the place of thermometer, and then I can tell what is the exact temperature. Okay, so this is like vice versa. So where do you find this is like if you take your iron box. So in case of your iron box, there is a knob, right? So there is a knob here, so which tells that there is a cotton here, and then there is a silk, and maybe a nylon. Okay, so there is different cloths, and there are some readings here. Okay, or they will put this is high, this is medium, this is low. Okay, so if you take modern iron box, okay, where you use to with the one which you use to press your cloths. Okay, so in that case, let me check. uh, okay, so okay, so you can see this knob, right? So you can see the knob in between. So this knob, it says like there will be different material or different types of heating. So as I told, there is either cotton, silk, and nylon, or they will put high, medium, and low. What is this? This actually gives the temperature. So how do they control this? Is like when you are keeping at medium, and it has to stay at constant temperature. Let us assume for nylon, so maybe you want low temperature, like maybe like 55. If you go more than 55 degrees, then what happens? This nylon will get burnt. Okay, and for this, let us assume it is at 65 degrees. Okay, if your temperature is more than 65 degrees, then what happens? Your silk cloth will get burnt. Okay, in the same way, if I take cotton, maybe it will go to 80 degrees. Okay, so if it is more than that, then again it will go to burn. So now normally what they use this kind of resistors inside your this controller. Okay, so that resistor will be somewhere in close to the plate, heating plate. So once it reaches the temperature, like once it reaches 55 degree, it will stop heating. Okay, if I keep the knob in this position, then your heating should not be more than 55 degrees. So in that case, what happens? It will just set up. Okay. Then once it goes to lower temperature, maybe like 30 degree, again it will start heating. Okay. So this is how they use this resistor or your thermally sensitive uh, thermistor. Okay. So in your in case of your heat iron box. Okay. The same thing can be is also used in your what we call as SMPS. Okay. So SMPS is your this is your power button or power box that you have inside your CPU. Okay, so this you find it inside the CPU. So then what happens? They normally keep this kind of thermistors on the motherboard. So once you keep on the motherboard, if your motherboard board is getting heated up too much, then it may catch fire, right? So you don't want anything such thing happen. So what happens is there is a thermistor which will send the signal to your SMPS. So then what happens if it is going beyond like 80 degree or maybe beyond 60 degree or 65 degree, then what happens? It will shut down your computer. Okay. So these are some of the safety things that you can use as a, these are the use of your thermistor. So you should know this because maybe sometime you are going to use it. Okay. So now coming back to your experiment, so in this case, what you are going to do is you are going to collect those data, resistance at a different temperature, and then you are going to make a graph of 1 by t versus log r. Okay, so then you are going to use this formula. Okay, so E is equal to 2.303 uh, 2 kbm by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 electron volts. Okay, so you can use this formula, and m is your slope. Okay, the slope that you get from your r versus 1 by t. Okay, so you are going to okay, I think here. So 1 by t, you are going to plot it on x-axis and then log r on y-axis, and then so this temperature has to be Kelvin, not in degree C. You are going to convert your degree C into Kelvin, and then you are going to plot this, and you will substitute the value here. Okay. So what I will do, I will set you this data, whatever data we are supposed to collect, and then what I will do, what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to